Good afternoon. Welcome on into another episode of From Day One. Today, we, with the help of Law Talk with Mike, get into a bunch of people making very bad decisions in court.
Good morning.
What's your name?
Anna Walker.
Mr. Walker, you're here on a probable cause affidavit. It looks like, and then I'm going to set your bond today. Looks like possible charges are criminal threat, aggravated battery, and then interference with a law enforcement officer. What's the county attorney's position on bond for Mr. Walker?
Hopefully
Your
none.
Honor, I would notify the court that I would have a conflict as to any cases moving forward filed against this suspect or defendant. With that being said, I certainly could handle a portion of this hearing without notifying the court of any confidential information I may have or may not have. It appears from the 48-hour affidavit that the possible charge could be a level 4 aggravated battery. That'd be the top count. The state is also aware from our internal record system that he's currently on probation with CSO. Given those two pieces of information, the state believes that it is appropriate for the court to put in place a $50,000 cash or commercial surety bond. I think Ms. Greenwood could speak to whether or not court services intends on putting a hold on him for his current probation case.
All right, we already have indicators that he's not the brightest bulb.
Yes.
We will do a hold.
Okay.
Is there any way to do a corrections bond? Because I've got 2 cats and 2 dogs at home that
There actually isn't any way to do a corrections bond as of right now. I'm going to set your bond. There's a hold already, or there's going to be. I'm going to set your bond at $50,000 cash or commercial surety. If you happen to bond out, make sure you follow the bond conditions, that you make all your court dates. Stay in contact with your attorney. If you have an attorney, or if you get an attorney for this case, stay in contact with them. You can't possess or consume the illicit drugs. You're going to be, hang on a second, you're going to be tested randomly. If those random tests come up positive for illicit drugs or alcohol in your system, you're going to be arrested because you'll be violating your bond conditions. There actually will be a hold, so even if the bond were an OR bond, you wouldn't be able to get out because there may be some violations on some probation.
I don't know who it is, but top right is very expressive. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, of course.
Thank God I wasn't even
I'm
noticing
going to caution you as to what you say, because you're not represented by an attorney, and sitting, the county attorney's office is sitting here is being recorded, so you don't want to implicate or talk about the case in any way. Go ahead, though.
But how is there going to be a hold, Teresa? Just out of curiosity, because I really actually didn't do this. I want to be able to.
She's not going to be able to talk about that. It's not going to be litigated today. You'll be seeing about that here in a next day or two to talk about what the next steps are. Okay. That's all I have for you today.
Well, then, since this is the case, then I'm going to catch more charges because I'm going to fuck up your guards in here at the same time.
No!
Do a fucking thing.
You'll probably get another charge on that statement. Thank you.
Well, it sounded an awful lot like a criminal threat.
Yeah.
Trying to repeat this one moment for the last one. Well, that's absolutely a criminal threat and an incredibly dumb thing to do.
Yes, Mikey.
Even worse, he says it as he's doing. He said, "I'm going to pick up another charge," so the defendant's aware of it and just decides, "Yeah, I'm going to go ahead with that." I want to thank Meg for sending that to me. Her channel is called Meg's Crime Watch, and I'll put a link to that in the description below.
All right, Ms.
Hey,
Suero,
call me.
you are charged with a Class A misdemeanor assault causing bodily injury to a family or household member. Are you working right now?
Yeah,
Where do you work?
I work at 4 different places.
How much do you make a month?
$2.
Not a lot. I'm taking serious steps, so most of my money goes to that. And I almost got evicted last month, so I can't really pay for bills
boyfriend, or?
Yeah, I was living with him.
Okay, so he's not evicted.
He supposedly is the victim.
No. You said you were evicted last month.
Oh, I was almost evicted. I apologize.
So what I'm saying, was he evicted as well, or is?
Yeah, he was almost evicted with me.
Okay, that was kind of funny, and it wasn't particularly stupid. He said, the judge asked, was he evicted? And she said he allegedly is the victim. Well, he is the victim in the charge that she's facing, apparently.
Okay.
But I can actually see where that's a rational mistake on everybody's part.
Got it. Okay, and all right. And does he have money to help bond you out?
No, not at all.
Do you have friends or family that can help bond you out?
No.
Well, hope you enjoy sitting in jail then.
Question. I can't apply for a personal loan.
You can, but they tried to talk to you twice, and you allegedly refused to talk to them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, they said they tried to talk to you twice, and you didn't want to talk to them.
Sorry.
People downstairs at the end of the counter.
Really?
Yes, that's pre-trial services.
I had no idea.
All right, well, for future reference, when jail personnel or the employees there ask you to come up and talk to them about things, it is not to your advantage to not cooperate, because they were actually going to interview you for a personal bond.
No, I was talking to them. He never asked that. I was talking to him.
According to the pretrial officer, you refused to talk to them twice.
It was a female. It wasn't a guy.
By the way, a personal bond, by the way, some other places will call it a personal recognizance bond. Basically means you get out without having to put any money up. Usually pretty good if you're facing a charge and you can get out without no charge. Be stupid enough not to avail yourself of it, that's quite dumb.
Okay, but let me tell you this though. I can tell you that since you just got bonded out on an assault case just last month against the same alleged victim, I would not be inclined to do the personal bond anyway. So I don't want you to feel as though, boy, you would have gotten out of jail if you'd interviewed. That stated, for future reference, you need to cooperate with personnel when they're trying to get your attention to sign documents and things of that nature. All right.
Well, there you have it. There's the problem. 2 assaults in a month. And I don't know, because she actually seems pretty well behaved during this hearing. I will say that. But my guess is she went full Karen prior to this. And now she's trying to act like she didn't.
Karen.
I wasn't there, but that's my guess.
That stated,
I remember someone asking me a question early this morning, and I believe that was it. I was sleeping, and someone, 2 ladies were asking me a question, and I thought it was about food, and I just said no. So that could have been it.
all right, well, nevertheless, you're not going to get a personal bond because you just got arrested for the same thing last month, and I don't think it's appropriate under the circumstances based on what I'm looking at. Based upon the limited amount of money you guys have, and you don't have other friends or family that can help bond you out.
No.
Your bond amount on this is set at $1,500. It actually originally set at $4,000. I reduced it down to $1,500 so it wouldn't be as expensive to bond out. Bail bond company often charge around 10%, which in this case would be around $150. You'll have an opportunity to use the phone a little bit to try to make that happen. Do you have another place to live, Miss Sparrow?
I'm trying to get out of that situation. That's why I'm here.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make it a little bit more certain that you get out of the situation, because I'm gonna put a condition on your bond that requires you to stay 200 yards away from him, which means you're gonna have to find another place to live.
That's fine. I'm totally fine with that.
So you can't go now. I'm not prohibiting you from talking to him over the phone or texting him or email. I'm not trying to destroy y'all's relationship or anything, but under the circumstances, with these 2 instances happening 2 months apart, right now there's a condition that you cannot go within 200 yards of him under any circumstances. If at some later date y'all want to try to see each other, your attorney can come talk to me or the judge of the court where the case gets assigned about trying to remove that condition. But for now, you need to go stay somewhere else. Do we understand each other?
Yeah, I understand.
Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
Court attorney. I have a question.
Go ahead.
The only way to get out of here, I need someone to come and pay. Okay.
Well, if someone comes down to the jail with $1,500, then you'll be released and you'll get your money back at the end of the case. If they come down with a full $1,500, if someone doesn't have $1,500, then you can go through a bail bond company, and it's between you and. It's up to you to find the cheapest bondsman you can find. They often charge around 10%, which would be about $150. You could also go through an attorney, and a lawyer can come down here and try to convince me or one of the other judges to do a personal bond in your case.
Just a question. I apologize. I will be stuck here until I find all of that.
Until you postpone and get out of jail. Now, your court-appointed attorney will reach out to you in the next couple of days, and when they do, if you haven't bonded out before then, you could talk to your court-appointed attorney about what they could do to help bond you out. And again, a lawyer can try to bond you out through a personal bond. They can come talk to me, and I'll listen, or one of the other judges, okay? So, but in the meantime, until your court-appointed attorney reaches out to you, you can try to bond out by either hiring a lawyer or going through a bail bond company or having someone come down to the jail with $1,500, okay? Do you understand you can't go within 200 yards of him?
I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I'm trying
200 yards, by the way, is just shy of a block.
Do you have any firearms?
No.
Any questions?
No.
All right. Good luck.
I actually have one question. I'm sorry. The thing is the last I have court on March 9th for the other case.
And I'll take you here.
Huh?
I'll take it.
It'll basically show up for your court dates on both cases, and at some point they'll be combined into one date.
I understand.
What was your question?
The bond, the money, I'm not able to pay for the other one either.
When you say the other one, you don't have to postpone on the other one because you were released on a personal bond on the other one. So as long as you show up for your court dates, you won't have to pay that bond. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, as long as you show up for if your bond amount's $10,000, as long as you show up for your court dates, you will never have to pay that $10,000 if you get a personal bond. The point of a personal bond is to enable you to get out of jail without having to come up with any money. Under these circumstances, you got one on the first assault, and you're not going to get one on this second one. I'm sorry.
Good.
All right, and there are various reasons why I've reviewed the police report and some other information in the case.
I was never talked to, so.
What's that?
I was never talked to on.
Understood, but what I'm telling you is even if you had interviewed, based upon the information that I'm looking at, I would not be comfortable doing a personal bond. Now, and your attorney can come talk to me about it, and when they see the information I'm looking at, they'll understand the questions I'd be asking them.
Yeah, I understand.
So just have your attorney come talk to me.
I don't have anybody. I don't have money to hire an attorney.
Fair enough. And that's why your court-appointed attorney will come visit me and can come visit me, and I'll talk to your court-appointed attorney about that if you don't bond out before then. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, there you have it. The first one was incredibly stupid. The second one was just garden variety stupid. She was actually pretty well behaved in court today, and she was asking some questions which are understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But committing a second assault when you're on bond for a first assault.
It's not a smart play.
And then having attitude when you're in the court, not cooperating with court personnel. I don't buy her story that she thought it was food. Not for 1 second. And that's
hey,
what
I'm sorry, in jail you don't get much food, so somebody has you for food.
And it turns it around. The other one I'm not so hopeful for.
Here at Law Talk, we like to have fun with...
Thank you, Mikey. Shushy. Let's see if we can find a real quick one. If we got a real quick one, we'll go to that. If not, we may just kibosh. Right here. Let's see. Do we have a quickie? Yeah, let's do this then. We got a sentencing freakout. if it plays. Okay, here we go.
People of the state of Michigan versus Lamont Eric Brown. Defendant is charged with 1 count of license plate illegal use and 1 count of driving while license suspended, revoked, denied, and 1 count of motor vehicle operation without security. Today is the date set for sentencing. Appearances, please.
The record, Your Honor, Christina Ritter on behalf of the people.
And Jacqueline George, P26320, assigned counsel for Mr. Lamont Brown. We are appearing by Zoom, and we waive being physically present in the courtroom.
And your name, sir? Unmute yourself, please.
And please don't be stupid.
My name is Lamont Brown. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning. Today is the day set for sentencing. The court has had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report. On behalf of the people, are there any additions, deletions, or corrections?
None on behalf of the people, Judge.
On behalf of the defense, are there any additions, deletions, or corrections?
No, Judge. We reviewed the report last night, and there are no additions or corrections.
All right. With respect to sentencing, is there anything on behalf of the people?
Nothing on behalf of the people, Judge.
With respect to sentencing, is there anything on behalf of the defense?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Brown is 32-year-old father of 4, ages 8, 6, 4, and 3. His son, the 8-year-old, lives with him on Brentwood in Inkster. It's a stable residence. He's been there 7 years. Pays $970 a month for rent. And significantly, Judge, he's the owner and operator of 4 Brown's Cleaning Company, which power washes cars, boats, deep cleans homes, and cares for their lawn care needs also. He's prepared to pay his court costs for today and his arrearages forthwith to the court.
All right. Would your client like to make a statement on his own behalf?
Yes, he would.
Okay, and here's where the trouble starts. So far, we've got a hearing that's just going along fine.
Okay.
We've only heard from the attorneys. He's represented by Jacqueline George, it looks like, who does a fine job for him throughout this, but he does everything he can to unravel the situation.
Sir?
I was just waiting, but good morning, Your Honor. Pretty much like she said, I really don't get in trouble like that. It was just a driving mishap. So I actually just purchased the truck. Like I work every day. I'm up 6 in the morning every day. Get my kids to school, then I start my business. My hours of operation is very meticulous because I work through all out the night and day, depending on when people need things done. And was asking for leniency on my sentence. Like I said, I'm prepared to pay a fine today. Any type of cost that I can knock out the way. But on my pre-sentencing statements, it was saying about probation, and I was just asking for the courts or the judge, is there any way that I can work around it, or y'all could work with me in any type of way due to my work schedule? You know, I ain't really dealt with probation since I was like 19. So that's what I really remember. Like,
so going down, but he doesn't want probation
calling every morning to determine when I come in or not. Because I just want to get this over with so I can get back to my regular life and finish and prosper.
All right.
This ought to be good.
The court is ready to impose sentence, and I will do so as follows. The court will accept the recommendation from probation for probation. I'm going to reduce the months to 12 instead of the 15 that they recommended, and that puts us in November of 2022 with a final review date of November the 4th. With the following terms and conditions: you shall not violate any criminal law of any governmental unit You must not leave the state without consent of the court. You must make a truthful report to probation on a monthly basis, or as often as they require, in person, in writing, over the phone, or via Zoom. You must notify probation immediately of any change of your address, phone number, or employment status, and you must pay the following fines, costs, and fees. The court is going to impose, as to each counts 1, 2, and 3, the mandatory cost on each count of $210. On count 1, the license plate unlawful use, the court is going to impose.
Judge, count 3 was dismissed.
Excuse me.
No, sir. No, sir.
I'm really talking to my attorney.
No, sir. I'm talking. You don't get to talk to your attorney while I'm doing sentencing. No, sir.
Dude, shut up.
And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or the dogs get it.
You're right. So I don't mean count 3. I mean count 4.
You'll get it.
So it's counts 1, 2, and 4.
Correct. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, and then on count 1, the court is going to impose a $250 fine. On count 2, the court is going to impose a $200 fine, and on count 4, the court is going to impose a $175 fine.
So
With respect to the
$1,255.
probation oversight fees, the court is going to assess those fees on count 1. Probation oversight fees are $35 per month. The total 12 months is $420. Additionally, the court is going to impose the pre-sentence investigation fee onto count 1. The total fines, costs, and fees on count 1 is $980. On count 2, $410, and on count 3,
Count 4, Judge.
count 4. Thank you, counsel. I'm sorry.
You're good.
It's $385. The total fines, costs, and fees is $1,775. You have the duration of probation to pay that amount. Additionally, you shall not use or possess any illegal substance. You shall not use or possess any marijuana without a valid medical marijuana card. You shall submit to random urinalysis and pay the outside agency directly. The court notes that you failed to appear for your drug screen that was ordered by probation. Had you appeared, sir, it is my turn.
And a way to get there.
It is my turn.
So y'all didn't let me
It's
talk.
my turn. If you keep, I let you talk. I said, do you want to make a statement? And you did. And now it is my turn. It is my turn. Stop interrupting me.
Knock it off, kid.
And if you want to make another statement, you will do so when I give you the opportunity to. But you will not interrupt me.
Dude, I dare you to try to interrupt her.
Had he appeared for the drug test and I had a drug test result, then I may not have ordered the drug screen. However, I do not have a drug screen result, and therefore he is going to submit to urinalysis. If the screen is negative after 2 times, then the court is going to discontinue the testing. Additionally, I'm not going to order the 20 days of community service as recommended by probation. I am going to order, and I'm also not going to order the no alcohol. I am going to order that he pay all outstanding tickets in full. According to the report, he has a $2,292 balance. Additionally, he's going to attend the driver improvement program, and he shall not drive without a valid license. So I don't know how he's getting around in the middle of the night and doing all of this cleaning cars and stuff and whatnot, but he shall not drive without a valid license. If he receives another driving infraction while he's on probation, that is a violation of his probation. There is an opportunity for early discharge from probation if all of the terms and conditions of probation are met. And then the court is also, of course, going to order that he shall clear up all 14 of these outstanding warrants that he has at 36.
14 warrants?
And 19, and one at 19th District Court.
15.
And then he has one at 16th District Court, and one at 43rd District Court. Oh, and this first one is from 20th District
18.
Court and 18th District Court
19.
and 22nd
20.
District Court. He has 14, 15, 16. He has at least 16 outstanding warrants. He has at least 16 outstanding warrants. He shall clear up those outstanding warrants, or that will be a violation of his probation. The court is going to set a review date for February the 4th at 9:30 via Zoom. We are going to mail a copy. Probation will contact Mr. Brown at the phone number that ends. Is there anything further at this time on behalf of the prosecution?
Yes.
On behalf of the prosecution.
Sure.
Nothing from the people, Judge. Thank you.
Mr. Brown, you're not going to come in my courtroom and think you're going to change my process and my procedure. You will not do it. Anything on behalf of the defense, Miss George?
Judge, on the February 4th, 2022 court date, does he appear by himself, or am I still in the case on that?
No, you're not in the case. Your appointment ends at sentencing.
Okay, Judge.
So, Mother, today's your last time.
Mr. Brown, what is it that you would like to address the court?
Go ahead, stupid person.
Like when I was talking to my attorney yesterday, and like I was telling her, even with the probation, is there any way I could just pay the fine and be done with it? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna fail the probation.
Okay, well then let's just come on in and go to jail.
It's gonna come. The decision between, because I'm by myself. I gotta make money to support whatever I'm doing, and it's gonna be coming between me having to go to work and me having to go to probation. So I ain't saying yes, I should be punished for what I've done, but the probation terms is like, and then you factor in things that have nothing to do with my case, even with my ticket.
Oh, just look at all the expressions. I think that's Samara Semi is, I believe, the probation officer.
Yes, it is.
His attorney is like, oh, no, you got to stop, but there's nothing she can do. They're on Zoom. The prosecutor who's
yeah,
been on other
physical
videos,
and she just reach out and
she's cute, but she kind of
cold
looks
cock
like
him.
headlights.
Shut up!
Like, oh, please. Like, she knows better. But my favorite is the judge. She's looking at him. His idea is hey, now that you've already sentenced me on this thing, and I've interrupted you several times when I have 18 outstanding warrants, and you have to get a calculator out to calculate my fees and costs because it's such a complex mess, and I continue to interrupt you. His new thing now is, after a sentence has been imposed, is, hey, can we just go ahead and not do probation? Like, I mean, it's a crazy request.
Yes, it is, Mike. Let's continue.
Most of my tickets have been thrown out. I have paperwork from the Secretary of State. They threw a lot of my infractions out. That's not the right number you got, I'm saying. They threw a lot of my infractions out. So I don't have that many. That balance that you said, that's not my original balance for my tickets. And I was just wondering, what do they got to do with this case that proceeds now? Even with me having to, even if me get on a probation, having to go pay this, and having to go pay extra to go, that's kind of hard for a person. You know, that's kind of hard. That's going to be hard for me. I'm by myself. It's going to be very hard for me.
Lamont, maybe you should check the judge's body language. You can see her. You can see her on your screen there. How do you think this argument's going for you, buddy?
Not at all.
That's going to be very hard for me, man. I'm by myself, 4 kids. I got custody of my first kids. I'm a
So, Ms. George, let me ask this question. Let me ask this question. Stop talking when I start talking. So, when the plea was taken, and maybe I'm not clear because I didn't take the plea. It was taken on the felony docket. Is Mr. Brown suggesting to me that the judge at the time they took the plea did not advise him that for each count it's a penalty up to 93 days in the Wayne County Jail, up to $500 in fines plus costs, and up to 2 years probation? Was that explained to him when he took the plea?
Oh, yes.
That he pled to 3 misdemeanors?
Correct.
And that they are punishable by up to 93 days in the Wayne County Jail. And up to $500 in fines plus costs, and up to 2 years probation. Was that explained to Mr. Brown when he took the plea?
Yes, Judge, and the felony was dismissed. in lieu of a misdemeanor plea.
Okay, so then I'm confused by your statement, Mr. Brown. So here's where we are.
Ma'am, I don't know what you...
Sir, you're not going to keep interrupting me.
In other words, they've already cut you a break, dude.
So we can withdraw his plea and he can go back and deal with it as a felony, or we can go ahead and do my sentencing. But what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to explain the law to Mr. Brown. I'm not going to explain why you can't be walking around with 16 outstanding warrants for your arrest.
They no longer...
In a minute, I'm going to start adding some jail days. That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm not going to explain why you can't walk around with 16 open warrants. I'm not going to explain what one thing has to do with the other, because that's not what I'm here for. That's not my role. And I'm not going to engage in somebody else's role. So either we can go ahead, or we can go and send it back to the felony docket. And I don't know what the penalty is on the felony docket. I don't know
probably
how many years
a lot more than
you can get
93
in prison
days
on the felony docket for this thing that was reduced to a misdemeanor. But it is clear that these 3 counts that he pled to are an inconvenience to his way of living. And all I can say is that probation is an alternative to jail, and jail is an alternative to probation. So I don't know what we're asking me for.
I like that. It's an alternative, right? Well, the option not on the table is, hey, can I just pay a fine and walk? No, you get probation or jail. Which one do you want? That's effectively the choice before him.
But this isn't just a give me a fine and let me go on my way. And not only is he asking me to just give me a fine and let me go on my way, apparently he don't want the fine on all of the counts and the cost on all of the counts, because he doesn't understand what that has to do with anything. So I'm not here to explain myself. I'm here to impose sentence. So either we want to go ahead and do the sentence and try to work the probation, or we want to go ahead and withdraw the plea, take it back to the felony docket, and handle it as a felony. Because I'm confused. Miss George?
Judge, I'm sure he can work it out with probation to report by Zoom or by mail or something. I'm sure it's workable.
That's a smart defendant
the attorney because
there.
Everybody else is working it.
Yep.
I'm sure it is. But he has...
Right there, it's just very smooth. She sees Judge mid-rant, and the rant is justified. I think the judge's actions here, she gets a little testy with him, but he more than deserves it. In fact, she's being lenient. She could have held him in contempt easily by now. But this guy doesn't realize how lucky he is, A, that ultimately the judge is decent to him, and B, the attorney he has is doing this just right. Her client is screwing up, and she is mollifying the situation.
Trying to pedal it back as far as
in the best way
possible.
possible.
He made up in his mind that it's something that he's not going to do. He just said he's going to fail the probation. And when he fails the probation, because he has made up in his mind that he's going to fail the probation, then it's going to be jail. So it's no sense in doing that. Let's let him go back now, since he's already made up in his mind that he's going to fail. And when you come out the gate with a defeated attitude, then there's nothing that you're going to be defeated.
Judge, you gave him an option to close him out early if he gets everything all cleaned up.
I sure did.
And
but he was
you can't do any better than that. You can't do any better than that.
Well, I didn't think I could, but apparently I can. Apparently I can do better.
All right, we will leave it there. He finally does get smart and wises up to, I should take the fucking probation and be glad I got out of this. With that, we will bring the afternoon session to a close. Come on back tonight. We'll have some soft sits for you. Till then, rock and roll, and thanks for joining us here from day one. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you tonight.